Left my camera in my car last night. Oops. I made my girlfriend breakfast this morning, made myself some breakfast. We're gonna watch Godfather 3, at least the first half, before we go to the gym, and then gym it up. Watch the second half of Godfather 3. Have you guys seen the Godfather trilogy? It's a really good movie series. Definitely recommend it. Especially the first Godfather. That was the shit. Actually, I really like the second one too. I think you should watch it. I don't know, I've heard things about the third one, but we'll watch right now and tell if they're true or not. Best Boyfriend Ever award goes to me. Godfather 3. Breakfast. Cool. We here at the gym, GF and I. She's got upper and cardio. I got lower. I should do cardio. I'm supposed to do cardio this week. Fudge. Huh.
So I am gonna end up waiting for you in the lobby.
Yeah. No. Vlog, bitches! Alright guys, I'm gonna answer some questions from the Facebook post from a week ago. Here's Brianna hitting 70 pounds on the bench press for, I think, 8. And actually she hit this like 4 times. Super proud of her. This is leg day footage of me, I think hypertrophy day. And I also perform hip thrusts, so that might be a first for some of you guys seeing that movement, hip thrusts. I did 5 sets of that, so enjoy the video footage. I'm gonna answer some questions. First one's from Dan, and he asks, what macro ratio do you recommend and why? First and foremost, I don't really recommend any macro ratio to anyone. For those wondering, that question's asking me what percentage of fats to carbs to proteins I recommend someone to consume on a daily basis, where their goal is cutting, maintaining weight, or gaining muscle. I don't really recommend any sort of set ratio or percentages of fat, carb, protein. To give you an example of one of the many ratios you may come up with, you might get a 20-40-40, so 20% fat, 40% carb, 40% protein split that you may put yourself on. Say your goal's putting on muscle, say your goal is losing fat. At 3,000 calories, if you put those ratios to work, you'd get 67 grams of fat, 300 carbs, 300 grams of protein. And what happens is, say you're losing weight on that 3,000 calories by doing that split, and you have some cardio you might be doing as well. You're losing a little bit of weight, stagnates. For you, next thing you'd probably do is lower the calories. So now you lower your calories down to, say, 2750. You lower your calories by 250. What that would do is it would lower your fat, your carb, and your protein. And for the most part, I actually like to keep protein. Well, aside from the fact that 300 grams of protein for the vast majority of people is way too much protein, aside from that, I like to keep protein relatively the same, whether you're relatively the same during a cut, even during a bulk. And for the most part, nobody really changes protein throughout a prep. Only in extreme cases, towards perhaps the end of a prep, will you see that coaches actually change the protein. And obviously, of course, many coaches, many people will change their protein when they're going from a bulk to a cut. They might, raise their protein by a decent amount. So reasons why I don't really recommend macro ratios is, one, I generally like seeing protein kept the same. Obviously, except for when you're switching over from a cut to a bulk or vice versa, depending on where you are in each. And also because certain ratios are just not that good. For example, a 20-40-40, that's a lot of protein for a lot of people. That might be good for an extremely jacked guy with a slow metabolism, but it's probably not very good for an extremely skinny guy with a very fast metabolism. So that's my opinion on that. Next up, Justin asks, what's my update on my reverse diet? Doing pretty good. Lately weighing in so anywhere between 167 to 169 pounds. So averaging around 168 pounds right now. From my lowest average weigh-in, which was around 162-ish, 163-ish or so, I'm up by an average, weekly weigh-in of about 6 pounds. So not doing too bad. My lowest weigh-in ever this year was like 161, pretty much. So that's 7, maybe 8 pounds above that. So anywhere between 6 and 8 pounds, depending on how you look at it. Not doing too bad. So thanks for asking on that, Justin. Strength is also going up. I did have the issue with my hamstring, so the deadlifts I had to kind of reset the weight a little bit. And you'll see in a few days some deadlifting footage that I did today actually. So it feels good to get back into deadlifting, and reverse diet's going pretty good. The cuts are slowly going away. It's funny, the fat gets put on in different places. Mostly my face. Seems like my face responds pretty well to the caloric surplus. It just gets fat quick. But my face is doing much better than the peak of how it looked at the peak of my bulk, or how it looked in 2011. So I'm doing pretty good in my opinion. I think that's it for the reverse. Doing all right. I'm doing pretty good. Strength's really good. I'm starting to feel much better now. A little bit less food focused, and slowly but surely, like I'm eating faster. That's something that happened to me and many others when you get into a prep, and even when you're getting out of a prep, is that you spend a lot of time eating, and I've been getting a little bit better by feeling like I don't have to spend all day eating, because eating is fun when you're on prep. Next up, Daniel, he wants to know what are some of my biggest mistakes while working out. Oh, by the way, these are the hip thrusts I was talking about. Fun exercise. I only did 275 this particular day because I'm working my way back into them. I kind of like them a lot. And plus, I need something to hit my glutes, since I think I might have to take a rest from doing lunges. And I'll tell you about that a little bit later. But some of the biggest mistakes... Hold on a second. Let me drink some water. Some of the biggest mistakes I've made working out as a beginner. Shit. Chris is laughing over here. He's probably thinking of like my food. But let me think about in terms of the weightlifting first. We'll start with the weightlifting. I actually started pretty good. I had like a strength coach who's the football coach of my high school teaching us weightlifting, and it was relatively kind of upper lower style workouts. So it was better than many others' first experience with the weights. I got accustomed to squats, cleans, bench pressing, pull-ups, and all the main lifts really quickly. Like right from the beginning, the squat was our main exercise. The front squat was another main exercise, and you were tested on our maxes for squat, front squat, clean, and bench press on a regular basis. So those were the focuses. So that was one thing I was fortunate about. The thing I wasn't so fortunate about is I knew nothing about the supplements, and I knew nothing about food intake. So although I was eating a lot in the beginning, I probably wasn't eating enough protein. Probably thought I was getting a good amount since I took 1 or 2 scoops of whey a day or something like that, but probably wasn't getting enough, to be honest, in terms of protein. So that was one thing. I wasn't getting enough of that. 2, I had no idea how much creatine to take regularly. I did the whole loading thing where I'd take like 10 grams a day for 5 days, and I'd get off of it for 2 weeks or something like that. Didn't really know about supplements or anything. Spent a lot of money on supplements that are useless. Tons of useless supplements. So for beginners out there, if you want to take anything, well, first of all, find out, just don't spend your money. But if you have to, just start off with like 5 grams of cheap ass creatine per day, and that's basically it. And multi maybe, but try to save your money, okay guys. A big mistake is just wasting so much money on things that aren't really helping you, because in the end of it, the main things that are going to help you grow are forcing progressive overload. So making sure you're lifting more weights on a regular basis, slowly but surely, a little more reps here, some more weight there, and getting stronger and putting more volume in, or just getting more reps per set, so on, for all the various exercises that you enjoy doing. So focus on that. If you want to really hone in on your nutrition, make sure you're in a caloric surplus based on your weigh-ins. If that's something that you're focusing on, get yourself in a caloric surplus. Take in maybe a gram per pound of body weight in terms of protein or more per day. And if you want to worry about your fats and carbs as a beginner, go ahead. If you don't, then simply caloric surplus and protein. Hit those. Those are the main things. If you want to get into the fats and the carbs in terms of how many grams... Fuck, I'm out of time. Strong. Some other beginner mistakes include, in terms of training, I got on bro splits immediately after graduating from my sophomore year of high school. I immediately jumped onto 5 days of lifting per week bro splits with the chest Monday, of course, back Tuesday, legs Wednesday, shoulder Thursday, arms Friday. Everyone did it. Everyone did it. If you're listening to me, you're probably doing this right now. The vast majority of people are doing this setup, and it's not the best setup out there. Yes, it will work, but for most naturals, you're probably better off with more frequency. And for the beginners out there, you're really better off with full body workouts, or at least upper lower style workouts. Just for more frequency of hitting your muscles as a natural, it will equate out to more growth for you. So that was one training mistake. And also nutrition wise, I got into the whole thinking, okay, certain foods are better for me than other foods in terms of gaining muscle or losing fat. I thought that oats, tuna, and almonds were like magic in terms of all of my physique goals. So no matter what, if I wanted to cut, bulk, or just maintain, apparently that combination of foods were like the cleanest foods out there to accomplish all of my goals, despite not even weighing anything or tracking macros. So I had no idea that calories in versus calories out was such an important thing. I had no idea that tracking macros could be helpful. All I got from the magazines and the websites I was reading at the time, and I was reading tons of magazines, I was looking at tons of websites, perhaps just the wrong ones, perhaps I didn't have the right mentor helping me, perhaps I didn't have the right YouTube channel that I was watching, because there was none back then. I didn't have anyone telling me the right way to go, and I simply thought that the only thing with nutrition was eating clean foods every 2 to 3 hours, and that was it. And in terms of losing fat, just raise all of my my rep schemes, so everything 10 to 20 reps per set and tons of cardio, and that was the only way to lose weight. And simply to gain weight or to gain muscle, just to eat shitloads of those clean foods. So I was extremely confused. That's not exactly how the body works. Yes, that may be, it may work, it may be effective, but it's not the best way to go about things, and you're kind of shooting in the dark. You're kind of blind to the truth if that's how you think the body works. So yeah, you can accomplish your goals, quote unquote, eating clean and so on, eating it every 2 to 3 hours, but those things aren't necessary. What actually causes the body to gain weight or lose weight are the calories in, calories out, the protein intake, the progressive overload, etc. So the big concepts, neglecting those big concepts and not finding out about those big concepts, that was a challenge when I started lifting weights. So again, that's why we're so passionate about Legends of Aesthetics. Chris and I were spinning our wheels for years. You guys can go back in time and find my video of my bulking diet, where every day, 2 or more times per day, I was eating a big ass bowl of oats, almonds, and 2 cans of tuna, because I thought that was the best thing to eat. It tasted like shit. I fucking ate that shit twice a day. It sucked, but I did it for such a long time because I thought that was the best way to go. And that's totally far from how I do things now. So yeah, so many bigger mistakes. I can go on and on. I'll leave it at that. Thanks for asking that question, Daniel. And yeah, thanks. At the mall now, shopping for bikini for the girlfriend. Why are we shopping for a bikini?
For I don't know what you call them, like weekly pics.
Weekly pics.
What update pics? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so she's being coached by Chris for a little weight loss, leading towards some pictures she wants to do in November, like really, you know, good couples pictures. So she wanted to get shredded for these pics. No, she said she just wants to get sexy as fuck. So we're gonna get sexy for her, and she's gonna. Anyways, yeah, Chris is helping her drop a couple pounds so that she could look even more sexy. Because she already looks really good, right?
Thank you, baby.
Yeah. See, guys, that's how you do it. Making points. Yeah. Brownie points.
Taking the girlfriend shopping is good.
Yeah, I'm taking her shopping right now, too, so. Yeah, well, yeah, we're getting the bikini so that she could send the pictures to Chris. Because she's got to do that weekly, kind of like the way I do it with my videos and Eric Helms. So, yeah. Gotta help her out. So, just going around Macy's right now. Actually, if you want to check if they have bikinis in the Macy's, I have a gift card.
In Macy's?
Women's Macy's.
Where is it?
It's like disconnected. It's in a different place. I'll show you. What? There's two different Macy's here. There's men's Macy's and there's women's Macy's.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I know. Have any of my guys been to Sunrise Mall, Citrus Heights? I remember this place used to be like a dump. It kind of still feels that way.
Compared to the Galleria, it is.
Surprise note from the Chipotle. All I do on my channel is eat burritos. But y'all keep watching. Added some eggs to the mix. And some Dexter. Rice cakes and yogurt. And more Dexter.
Hey, quit being a little bitch! Ogus cake!
Yeah, motherfucker!